So hello everyone and good afternoon and welcome to this kickoff meeting of the Harmony Plus consortium. This is quite a different meeting due to all the pandemic and due to all these arrangements that we have to manage in the last months now. It will be a different format than the usual formats for a kickoff. At the time that we met here in Salamanca 4 years ago for the first kickoff meeting in Harmony, it was really a very good meeting, plenty of interchanges, a lot of people who really didn't know each other start to do the interactions. Now it will be rather difficult due to all this COVID-19 pandemic and all the situation that we already know. But even in this case, we make the decision to have this kickoff, this official kickoff meeting, also in a different format. We are now 48 participants. We want to open the discussion with not many presentations. In fact, you have received an email with the different links to get access to the presentations of the different working packages. And you had this possibility open since yesterday, and it will be totally open for all of you. So I really want to thank all the people who made this dream feasible, to continue the efforts started at the Harmony time, now that we are now 4 years and a half, more than 4 years and a half old in the Harmony project. And we want to really, personally, I want to really thank all the people who made possible this dream. The PMOs who made a great effort to write in all the bureaucracy coming from Brussels, that this is really tedious and really important. All the partners from the public side and also from the FPA side who made the effort to one more time fulfill all the documentation and to be on board in this dream. As in our previous project in Harmony, which is totally linked, because Harmony and Harmony Plus are two different projects, but are in fact the same project. Together with, we already told several times in Harmony that we are here mainly based on patients. The projects start on the patients and finish on patients. We want to improve the patients' quality and quantity of life, and mainly in our patients, which are hematological patients, we are suffering really very important diseases. So this is the overall information regarding the project. It's an IMI project, public-private partnership project, with a duration of 3 years, with a total budget of almost 12 million, in which there are 6.7 IMI funding and 5 million from the in-kind contribution coming from the FPA. And in this slide, we have summarized which are the interactions of the different work packages. The structure remains similar to Harmony project. All the members in Harmony Plus are members of Harmony project, but we have reduced the number of participants. And in that way, and in order to simplify the project and the consortium, we also made a reduction in the number of the work packages. And mainly we have used the work package 3, 4, and 5 that are closely related to data intake, platform, and data analytics. We have used all these 3 work packages, and now they are the work package 3. For this reason, work package 6 Now is work package 4, the 7 is 5, and the work package 8 related to ethics aspects is now work package 6. The interactions are there, and you already have this presentation. Please have a look on it if you want to see more in detail how the system is working, how the consortium is working or will be managed. Okay, and this is also the main characteristics that we will have in the, or the main goals we have in the project. At the end, we have expanded the scope of Harmony project to cover all hematological malignancies, including myeloproliferative disorders, CML, Hodgkin disease, and the other rare hematological malignancies. We will be based on the Harmony platform to support clinical trial design. We will offer, we will work to offer rapid analytic to healthcare stakeholders. And also we will mainly focus in the collaboration with other collaborative projects, something like the ASH project in big data that we already started in Harmony. So, and Harmony Plus is mainly built on the achievements of the previous project. So we have defined in Harmony many things. Maybe most of them are really work paper, and most of them are related to or regards to data transfer, data anonymization. We have generated all this background, and from this background, we will be now able in an easy way to incorporate more and more databases to the Harmony platform and to really go in a quick step, in a quick way to move forward with data incorporation, now with the new diseases, with the new omic data. So this is my, let's say, my welcome and my introduction to this meeting that we have today here. And now we are open, totally open for discussion, for just for this, as Christy already stated, please use the hand and we will provide the possibility to open the microphone and we will start the discussion. One more again, so thank you so much for attending this meeting, but thank you so much for supporting Harmony Plus. The next 3 years will be full of work for all of us, and I'm quite sure that we will get all the success that we are now getting in the Harmony project. These are the main objectives that I already showed to you, and this is it is of course a challenge that we will get an alignment with the Harmony project. So we have to manage this. We are 2 different projects with different partners, and at scientific and also at management level, we have to be totally coordinated. So it is one of the most important things that we have to do in the work package 1, in the coordination work package, but also to make sure that the governance and the management structure already performing Harmony will be present in the Harmony Plus. For this reason, the executive committees of the 2 consortia are the same, with the participation 50% of public side, 50% private side. We need to properly implement the work plan. This is something that it was permanently in discussion in Harmony, so we get some delays on the deliverables and so on. So it is something that we have to manage now from the very beginning, because we will not have 5 years, it is just 3 years, and the time is really is running very fast. And in the work package 1, we also will be on charge of management of resources and timelines, and also to be sure that we are in alignment with the Big Data for Better Outcome sister projects. So maybe here in the Big Data for Better Outcome projects, there are 2 main projects in which we have much more relation. One is the Pioneer project. This is regarding prostate cancer. it is in the oncology side, and this is also another project that is named Eden, who is establishing a network, a federation, a data federation network, and also the relationship with them is also really important. But now we have to implement this even more with Harmony Plus, and we have to identify deliverables to be sustained beyond the duration of this action, and this is something that is also a permanent objective from the Work Package 1. So it is quite, let's say, simple, because this is the continuation of the Harmony project, but also it's a really some work to be done, mainly at the coordination level. I don't know if we can move to the Work Package 2, or do you have any question? So Gastone, Lars, Gastone, please.
Yeah, my is not really a question. It's like a big thanks to the coordinator for all the effort in the coordinator and the coordinator team for all the effort in Harmony, and now also in Harmony Plus. So it's just to say, Jesus, you are really very nice and a very important coordinator for all of us. I'm sorry that we are not in presence now, because otherwise I will propose applause for Jesus.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Gastone. Very much appreciate. Lars.
Yeah, I could have not said it better than Gastone, and I also missed the drinking part, as all of you know, and we could have celebrated it much better that we now have Harmony Plus. No, but I wanted to ask really a more concrete question. So how do we now start with Harmony Plus? How do we get people engaged in the new diseases which we have to cover? How do we define the people who will take the lead for Hodgkin's disease or for CML? This will be then coordinated by the individual work packages, and they will reach out. So I fear a little bit that this is nowadays even more difficult, because we do not have these presence meetings, and everyone has so many virtual meetings and gets many emails. So how do we move forward? As you mentioned correctly, I mean, time is short. We only have 3 years.
Well, it's a very good question, Lars, and this is also an important point. As we already know that we will start Harmony Plus in October, we start to make some arrangement with myeloproliferative disorders groups, and also with CML groups. And we will base at that time on the work packages at the European Leukemia Net, because in fact we are really, so European Leukemia Net is an important member of Harmony, and also they have these very active working packages. So I think it is quite important to let you know that we have received and approved a proposal by Professor Tiziano Barbui, who is also attending, and I really want to provide him now the point to explain how could be this involvement. And he already submitted a project regarding COVID-19 and myeloproliferative disorders that was approved during summertime. And in addition to that, we have also received a proposal coming from Novartis regarding, let's say, the use of machine learning, the tools that Harmony can provide also to analyze a large series of PVRA patients. So with these two proposals, this is something to start. It is just the beginning, but we are not, let's say, we are not coming from absolutely zero, but we are starting now with two, at least, or almost two projects that could be already managed. I don't know if Tiziano want to add some information, because I guess that you are one of the most myeloproliferative disorder. There are another myeloproliferative disorder or CML attending the meeting. It's also welcome, because sometimes it's quite difficult to run the list. Tiziano, please.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for giving me the possibility to say what we are doing now. Yes, as you mentioned, we had a meeting with Novartis to launch a new initiative. This initiative was derived by an observation they did, and they published this observation on the way uh, to anticipate a very important situation that can occur in patients with polycythemia vera. This is the resistance to hydroxyurea. Hydroxyurea, as you know, is the standard of treatment for PV. It's the first line treatment. However, in some patients, this treatment is not well tolerated. And you could have also a resistance to this treatment. So we have a drug now that could be used in this patient to avoid thrombosis. In a project that they did on artificial intelligence, they found that some features, very, very, very used features that derive from the hemograms, for instance, LDW is a risk factor for this resistant to hydroxyurea in PV. This is a very interesting, but it should be validated. To be validated, we made a proposal. A proposal is this: to do a retrospective and then a prospective study to collect patients, de novo patients or already diagnosed patients. And we have established now which could be the sample of this patient to validate what they think could be very useful in anticipating uh, an important issue that is which patients can be uh, anticipated to be resistant to, to hydroxyurea. In this patient, to do a study whether a new drug can solve this situation in this patient. This could be a nice paper to be done because you can reduce the incidence also of thrombosis. And you know that thrombosis is one of the major complications for mortality in addition to morbidity in these patients. So we are starting, as you, Jesus, said, we are starting this new study.
So, okay, thank you, Tiziano. So just a couple of points. First point is that this project, together with Professor Barbui project, will be present in the General Assembly in
Yes.
next week. And the
On
other
Friday.
thing, on Friday, yes, it is a
Yeah.
way in which we will discuss this together with some other projects, as for instance, the project in MRD and AML. And you will receive the final agenda soon this week. And the other point that I want to stress here is that it is one of the first, if not the first, proposal coming from the industry in Harmony. And this is quite important for all of us also to have this proposal coming from the industry. So it was a long debate last months and years that we have to receive this kind of proposal for a improvement and increasement of our project, and now we have this. So it is in some way they are covering these two phases.
Yeah, so
Thank you.
yeah, this is what I wanted to avoid. No, just kidding. Yeah, so I think this is also one of the projects where we will, of course, now start early, as we now also have to define core outcome sets for these new diseases. There, we definitely need your help, as we do for the ongoing Delphi surveys. I think all of you should have received an invitation. All of the Delphis are now open. I think then everyone has a lot of routine, so hopefully the generation of core outcome sets will be also smooth for the new diseases. The question is there whether we take a different approach. I think what we have learned from the Delphi surveys in the past is that was really difficult to design a Delphi that is both scientific enough for the academic partners, that fulfills all the criteria the industry would like to have in a respective survey, and on the other hand, that it is understandable for the patient advocates and the patient groups. The question would be whether we, for the other core outcome sets, perhaps we design separate Delphis for the individual stakeholder groups and then put the results together at the end, or whether we do a, let's say, a joint approach where we do it like separated and one still combined to see whether that might impact the outcomes. Yeah, but this is something which we will discuss within work package 2. All of you are, of course, invited to do so. And then another thing, what we had thought or what would be valuable is to think about outcomes that are independent of the diseases, but outcomes that are related to new therapeutic options, which would be, for example, new cellular therapies. And I think there we will definitely get in touch with the people focusing on lymphoma, as this is where the first CAR T-cell therapies are approved already. And there, yeah, it also will be important to define outcomes that might help us to better guide these therapeutic strategies, and perhaps then also to decide who is doing fine with CAR T-cell only, with whom we nevertheless should approach for transplant and questions like this. So yeah, I'm looking forward to an exciting 3-year period, and I hope that you all will help us to make work package 2 successful, and that we can fulfill all the deliverables which we had written in there. Thanks.
Farzad here. So first of all, I want to say, I want to thank everybody for the great work that you have done setting the foundation for Harmony. I know that from a Pfizer side, we came in middle of the way. So we are really privileged. We feel very grateful to be among you all and working with you. And Lars, if I remember well, I still remember Florence. It sounds like decades ago when we were, you know, talking and having a beer, and hopefully we can all meet face to face soon after this pandemic has been under control. I have 2 questions. One is maybe more practical, pragmatic. We are, if I'm not mistaken, going to continue with Harmony until sometime in 2021. And right now we're kicking off Harmony Plus. How do we manage meetings, teleconferences, or that is something that you all have thought about? Like, for example, I doubt it, but will there be 2 WP2 meetings, one for Harmony, one for Harmony Plus? I'm guessing not. So I see Santiago shaking his head. So I guess they will be streamlined. So that is good. Then the other question that I had was from a Pfizer side, and it's great that the example from Novartis and Professor Barbie sharing about PV. That's an amazing project. One idea that we have been very open about, and we have talked about from a Pfizer side, is the use of an external control arm from the Harmony data for clinical trials. So it could be any of the hematologic malignancies for several reasons. One is that, you know, treatments evolve very rapidly. If you choose a comparator, you may be asked to, you know, supplement with further data. So I think this use of external control arm would be quite interesting. I don't know if it's a focus of work package 2 or any other work package, but that's something that Pfizer would be quite interested in potentially submitting something your way in the near future.
Well, maybe I can reply to the first question. Well, indeed, we are not going to duplicate these efforts and these meetings. And in fact, the first idea for this meeting, for the Harmony Plus kickoff meeting, was to be at the same time that the Harmony meeting in Den Haag. So the general idea was to use the day before or the day later for the Harmony project to meet and to avoid trips and so on. Now, as we have to go for a virtual meeting, we changed a little bit and we decided to do this in a different way to don't enlarge the meeting, the Harmony meeting. But in fact, what we are planning to do is to combine, to add, to use the most important meeting, and those meeting will be Harmony and Harmony Plus. For the presential one, it will be absolutely the rule. In the previous years, maybe you were not with us, but we had, for instance, a face-to-face meeting of the steering committee. So if we are going to organize it, it will be possible next year, hopefully. We will organize this steering committee face-to-face meeting in Harmony Plus. Yes, it is. So we have to combine and we have to work as a, let's say, as a single project with 2 different consortia, because they are not the same members, the same partners, but the final decisions will be taken together. It is my reply. And I really want to thank you in an official way for allowing Pfizer to incorporate to the Harmony Plus project. You were, all of the FPA members, made a great effort last year. It was just a short time to upload this project, Harmony Plus. And it was the main reason why we have to move from 10 to 5 pharmas. And your support, Farsad, was really very, very important for Harmony Plus. So really, I want to thank, and I want to thank in an official way. And maybe Lars or maybe Professor Barbui, Professor Bullinger can reply the idea of this control arm, that it could be also very, very well appreciated. And I think maybe we will need to build up or to start to think on it.
Yeah, I think one other question was whether we would join the meetings at the beginning. I think while Harmony is still running for the next year, of course, it makes sense to, with regard to the core outcome set discussions, that we have one work package 2 meeting for that part and not separated one. And within that one meeting, we discuss the diseases from Harmony and the diseases in Harmony Plus. And yeah, with regard to the control arm, this common historic standard, I think this is what we should build up. The work packages are a little confusing in the Harmony Plus. They are not exactly the same as in Harmony, right? In Harmony, it also would be still work package 2. And I think in Harmony Plus, it will be rather work package 3, but I think there we will really work together to make it happen and make it work. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you very much. And Professor Hernandez, well, it's our pleasure to be part, and because we came in midway, so we're glad that we could help for Harmony Plus. It's our way of compensating for coming in late. So, and of course, like our clinical trials, we are aiming for 1, 2, 3 clinical trials to be brought in, and that's on track. So thank you, and we are grateful. Actually, we are grateful to be part of this. So thank you very much. You don't have to thank us more. We should thank you all.
Yeah, thank you very much for this meeting. It's an important one, and I just want to jump on the last point, which is which working package. So obviously, the working package 3, led by Lars, is will be critical for this control arm. And I am sharing on behalf of Celgene BMS the interest of control arm. I think all our EFPA colleagues are interested by this kind of study. And I think that as I'm involved in co-leading the working package 4 for this Harmony Plus, the title of this working package 4 is Involvement of Patient, HTA, and Regulator. And obviously, this kind of the control arm are clearly an interest in this framework. So because it's clearly a regulator on HTA, we are looking very carefully to this kind of synthetic control arm. So it's very important. I just wanted to highlight that because it's a characteristic of Harmony and Harmony Plus. It is the importance of collaboration of all the stakeholders, very different from each other. So it's not only a clinician with pharma, but there are patient, regulator, HTA body, and it is really and there is this collaborative mindset to maintain because it is clear. And there is a connection between all the working package, which is the key of the success. So probably this project will be connected to all the working package because it's also a question of methodology. So probably working the aspect of the analysis will be also very important. So it will be a big teamwork to do that. So I will be happy to participate to this project with my colleagues.
Totally in agreement, Jan. Thank you. Maybe we can move to the work package 3. I have seen Ruben, Gastone, and I don't know if someone maybe can add more information regarding this. Now this, let's say, joint work package integrating the previous 3, 4, and 5, and just to provide an overall an overview about the work package 3. Ruben, or
okay. I could start, and maybe Gastone could add something about intelligence, artificial intelligence. So as you mentioned, Jesus, the idea here is to join the technology work packets from Harmony, work packets 3, 4, and 5 to make it as one. It have a lot of sense to join these 3 work packets to work closer than we done before, and because we have less time than the earlier project Harmony. So the main objectives are to continue to make the data collection and data harmonization from the new diseases, and trying to apply new mechanisms and trying to improve in this data management to be more effective in the data collection. And of course, trying to improve the different technologies to give more capabilities to the Harmony platform, Harmony Plus platform now. And the other objectives, taking into account the platform, is to trying to study the way to create a method data bank and create different services to make to promote or to make the platform useful for different stakeholders, and of course to take into account the sustainability for the platform. And the other objectives is trying to, as you mentioned, from these new proposals, to use artificial intelligence algorithms and new methodologies to make the researches and to take new outcomes and take profit from the new technologies and the different capabilities of the big data platforms. And Gastone, if you want to add more information about the analysis part.
Thank you, Ruben. Yes, I will start. I would like to start with this consideration because nowadays in the community of artificial intelligence guy is a very important topic. The question is artificial intelligence, mainly neural networks, because this is the tool that is used in deep learning and also machine learning, is a kind of black box. So this black box behavior open several problems. For example, if you prescribe a therapy to a patient, and you are using a black box device, you don't know how you reach the result. So this is a very, in my opinion, is a very important topic, especially in the medical field. So one of the main objective of the work package 3, and this is in strong continuity with Harmony, is to develop transparent method. So instead of a black box, to have a white box or a transparent box. And this is possible by using several methods like statistical learning, Bayesian approaches, etc. So now I don't want to go into technical details, but this is one, in my opinion, one of the objectives of work package 3, because it will be very important also to contribute to new methodology in the field of artificial intelligence, and of course to analyze the data that will be provided. Other two, now let me do just two considerations based on the previous experience on Harmony. The first consideration is that now we know how to use the secure platform, the environment, OMOP. So I surmise that the data processing and the data analytics will be faster, but also based on the previous experience of Harmony, I think, as Lars also suggested, that one of the first action will be to identify and to be in touch with the key opinion leader in order to understand which data will be available and, of course, which clinical and or medical questions we have to try to respond, because this, I think, is very important, because I can perform beautiful mathematical algorithm, but with no clinical meaning. So I need the help of medical doctors. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for the work package 3, 4, and 5 old, and now work package 3, analytics, data intake, and so on? No.
I have a question,
Yeah.
Jesus.
Okay, Tiziano.
For Gastone. To Gastone, what could be the ideal way to collect data for artificial intelligence? You said we need a good question to have a good and relevant answer. But the you collect this data to generate the answer to the question.
Thank you. No, so the data will be collected, and Ruben can explain in, I surmise, in the OMOP data format, in the common data model OMOP, and this is the first step. The second step will be to be interfaced with the data owner in order to have a relevant clinical question. I don't know, for example, you were mentioning the COVID and the myelodysplastic syndrome, if I am correct. For example, roughly speaking, the question by you can be, there is some correlation or causal relationship between MDS and COVID. Can we predict the COVID according to MDS symptoms, etc.? Because otherwise, I can have some questions, but based on Harmony experience, it's very important to be in touch with the data owner and with the key opinion leader, because they know the medicine. I'm a physicist, a computer scientist, so I can be in trouble and I can provide the results that are not useful from the clinical perspective.
Okay, thank you. We have, yeah.
Okay.
George Vasiliou also, you want to add something, comment or question?
Welcome,
George.
Hi there. I thank you. Thank you for a nice presentation and summary so far. I just wanted to ask, we have some expertise ourselves in machine learning, and whether there will be opportunity to interact with the person who is in charge of this, and whether there will be a way to perhaps look into working together or anything, or is it something which is already, there are already people identified who are going to do this work?
Maybe as a, let's say, general coordinator, the projects are really open for the data analytics, George, and I think everybody is welcome to perform or to help in the data analytics. So now that I know that you are mainly involved in myeloid diseases, and now that we are starting to have some myeloproliferative disorders together with AML, that they are already start to be analyzed on Harmony, I think it is totally, this is room for the people to help us in the analytics, because we are generating or we are collecting a lot of data, and the data are there to be analyzed in a proper way. So it is the teams are open for the people who really, or the partners who really want to join us in this in this analysis. Okay, so any other comments regarding Work Package 3? If not, maybe we can move to the Work Package 4. It is participants and patients, HTA and regulatory agencies. Jan Gilebik is there, and I think also Tamas. I don't know if Jan Geisler was able to connect, but Tamas is there. So maybe Tamas, Jan Gilebik, maybe you can share this presentation. Tamas, welcome.
Sure. Hello, everyone. I'm sorry I cannot turn on my video, but it's probably not so important. And I also apologize for having my other organization's logo up there instead of my face, but I didn't have time to log out of that account and log into the other one. So the main objectives of the work package, as you can see on the slide, are mainly about making sure that that there's a consistent flow of communication and information across various stakeholders with a bigger group than what we had so far. So going beyond patient organizations, key opinion leaders, and also including additional patient organizations, but most importantly, regulators and HTA agencies. And for this purpose, also we would like to establish a proof of principle project within this work package, which would be about, as you can see here, delivering an early regulatory or HTA scientific advice procedure. And we would like to test this procedure in the framework of a pilot project, and then maybe on that basis and after evaluation of that pilot to establish a proposed procedure for how this can be done in the future going forward. So to kind of test out and then create a standard for how this can be done, for which it will be essential to involve a larger number of HTA bodies and also regulators. I mean, a larger number than what we've had so far, while the contributions of NICE have been absolutely paramount and very, very valuable. But it is essential that we can reach out beyond the existing stakeholders and cast a wider net, if you like. Also, going back to the first couple of objectives that you see described in the slide, we intend to continue with the development of the core outcome sets for the new hematological malignancies that are now part of Harmony Plus. For this, we would like to established the PHSFF for real, so the stakeholder forum for real. This was already started in Harmony. We could not make the desired progress. However, there were some, so the seeds were already sown, and these seeds are germinating now, and we would like to let that grow and flourish into a full forum, which includes patient organizations, of course, but also then other stakeholders, so that we can talk to each other in a much more streamlined way, and also in an easier way. So coming back to what we've been already doing before, especially with some tremendous help from Ellen de Waal, we really would like to rely on the existing infrastructure with our Harmony forum, and we will try to convince you why it makes sense and why it is useful to use that type of communication platform and that format of communication, to keep everything in one safe, protected space, while also creating a repository of all the relevant materials that we have, and also information that we exchange. Now, when it comes to streamlining patient organizations' involvement in research projects, this is primarily on our side, on the LucaNet side, which is the consortium partner and is responsible for coordinating all the patient organizations and their input. We already have a very regular flow of communication, which we will then expand with the patient organizations or umbrellas added to the process. And in terms of the development of guidance and decision tools, this is of course closely related then to the Proof of Principle project. This is about mapping out what this type of process would entail and how we can describe that in a meaningful way, which actually has already started under Harmony. So it really is a continuation and if you like, an upgrade to that work that we did there, partly informally because it was necessary to have this done. And Jan, I don't know whether you would like to add something to this at this point. I would be happy if you could, and then of course I'm happy to answer your questions as well.
Yes, there are two Jan in this working package, Jan Gassler and Jan Gilvik. So I am Jan Gilvik. In fact, yes, I think Tamas has presented very well the four working package. I could probably highlight some key principles. The fact that this working package will depend a lot of the other working package, and notably the project research and the working package, and the capacity to communicate with the key opinion leader who will work on project research, which will be very important. That's the reason why Tamas highlighted the tool, which is a stakeholder on the forum. I think it's an important point to raise. Another one is the fact that Harmony and Harmony Plus are pilots for big data, artificial analysis, and the result that we could get from this kind of new technology. But it's pilot also for the capacity, and we hope to be able to deliver on that. It is very challenging. The capacity to work with very different stakeholders. So I already said that just before, but it's really important. And so we hope that we will have more HTA body, more regulator, because in fact, the subject that we will work in this working package, in the continuation of Harmony, are really on focus regarding new methodology, guidance, interaction based on real world evidence. All these kind of line of activities, work stream, are really an important topic for all the regulators in Europe, for the private partner and public partner. But it's really a teamwork, and it's the first point which regarding this pilot aspect of this consortium is the fact that everybody is around the table regarding the research. It's not a classical clinical trial sponsored or co-sponsored by pharma with key experts. It's really a table with everybody around the table, and specifically patients who could give feedback. And that's the reason why it's raised in this working package, and it's important that they could have an input in the work that we will do in this consortium. So I hope that I gave just additional things to what Thomas said, and we are open to question, obviously, if we are able to answer, I hope.
There is a question from Guillermo. Guillermo, please go ahead.
Yes, this is a question for everyone. That is, I think that we need that the EMA is involved and interact with Harmony Plus from the very beginning. And so the primary question is, how can we achieve that EMA is involved in Harmony Plus, being a public institution, let's say, that cannot be founded by Harmony Plus, but EMA is absolutely required to obtaining several of our main objectives, including, for instance, their approval to use our database for the design of new clinical trials. Let's say, to use our data as the control arm for future clinical trials in the European Union.
I think you are raising a very important point, Guillermo. It's clear that it's critical, but it's difficult also because we need to build some bridge, in fact, because it's but I think it's a possible bridge to build because Harmony and Harmony Plus are, in fact, neutral place, if I could say that, where we could have open discussion regarding key activities that you mentioned. But it's clearly it will be an objective to raise some contact and based on research that we will have in order to build some bridge. But it's something to define because it's not evident because it was not done completely before. So it's a question of probably of education and also yes, communication and education about the importance of this public and private partnership.
Also, I think that what we really need to make sure in this case is that we speak with one voice towards the EMA, and so we will be reaching out to all of you and try to build a coalition with all consortium partners and reach out to EMA in a, if you like, in a very official way, while at the same time we will also mobilize our own patient representatives who sit in basically all decision-making bodies and consulting bodies of the EMA and make pressure from that end as well, so that that Harmony Plus is acknowledged and finally is on board with the EMA. So we kind of have a plan for that, but we will need your support, everybody's support. Of course, also industry, but the public partners, especially universities as well, to underpin that this is a scientific endeavor, first and foremost, rather than a commercial one. And it makes absolute sense for EMA as well to get involved.
I think this is a very important point. You know that EMA is changing the city, and now in November is expected to be changed also the chairman, and there are many changes there. But in any case, I think it will be really an important task for a work package 4 to approach EMA and to obtain this knowledge for Harmony Plus, and in that way you will receive all the the support for the coordination office, because it is really a main task that we have to resolve in the next years.
Thank you, that's appreciated.
Yeah. Sorry, Thomas?
I just said thank you, that's appreciated.
Okay. Any other comments? So I think it is, we have room to improve in every field, and this is something that we don't have to start from zero in Harmony Plus. And this is quite important for all of us, and I think it is something we have to, let's say, to in some way trying to improve these communication channels. I agree with you, Ellen, that if we will have a list of the people who was in some way related to Harmony, or now Harmony Plus, it will be more than 100 or hundreds of people attending the meetings and attending the different TCs and so on. So I think it's important to continue to preserve these channels, and if possible also to improve communication between the partners and also between the associated members or data providers that also really are the real people who made the job here. So it is quite important to be open and to insist all of us. Sometimes it's quite difficult to get this alignment. Guillermo.
Guillermo, you have a question, or you want to say something?
Yes, the first is just a comment, and I think that all of us should be very grateful to the EHA and especially your work in trying to disseminate the different achievements of our alliance. This is the first. The second comment is that I think that we need a closer relationship between EHA and the different communication departments of the FPA companies. We are losing the strength that the different companies in Harmony have. And my feeling is that we should be aware that taking the advantage of using, and I don't like this verb, but using this private-public partnership in all instances, including communication and dissemination, would be great for our alliance, Harmony and Harmony Plus.
Yes, that is a clear message, Guillermo. I think the good thing is that the relationship between Novartis and Pfizer is quite close, and I think it's perfect for us, a non-profit, and also for Harmony being funded, that we are so close to the communication departments. And I would like once again to ask the other FPA partners to help us to get closer as well to their communication professionals, which helps a lot. We also in some cases are closely connected to communication departments of the public organizations, the hospitals, but that could be improved a little bit more because all these networks are so valuable. But this specific point, Guillermo, I will take that along in our work to roll out not only work package 5 of Harmony Plus, but again, look critically to the rest of the communication activities for Harmony. Thank you very much.
I'm grateful to Helen for her work. Very hard work.
Thank you very much. I must admit, of course, I don't do this alone. I must admit it was a bit difficult to come up with a good story about Harmony Plus because it is a matter of positioning well. So for those details, we still can, I think, receive some input. So you could all have a look at the start document we made. I shared it in the chat and see if we miss out on something or we could be more specific. This is just a sort of a starting point. And once there are, concrete projects going on, it will make our work a bit easier because you can share real examples. So any feedback is really, really welcome. Thank you very much.
So thank you, Ellen. Maybe we can move to the Work Package 6. Work Package 8 in the previous Harmony project has been really a critical point because of we have to resolve the problem related to harmonization, to the data anonymization, to this system in which we have to go ahead, and it took more than 2 years to establish this double pseudo anonymization in the way in which we can share or we can build up the Harmony platform. But now the work of the at ethics level and sometimes governance level should be retained. And I don't know if we have here maybe Belén Vidriales could add some explanation regarding the main aims of the Work Package 6.
Thank you very much. And first of all, I want to thank all the people that is working in this very important project. And also I want to say that unfortunately I don't have a camera in this computer, so I cannot share my image. And in Work Package 6, we will keep working as we were working in the Harmony project in the Work Package 8. As Jesus said, it has been very important the work that has been done concerning the double anonymization with guarantees in the Harmony project. I think that it is very important because this is a kind of guide for other projects that could be similar to Harmony or to Harmony Plus. We will keep working in providing patient privacy with taking into account all the ethical aspect, thinking about the protection of the data, also about the dignity of the people who is, the dignity of the patient that we are studying. And I think that a very important part of the work has been done in the Work Package 8 of the Harmony project. We will also keep working with an external ethics committee, and we will receive the advice of them because all of you and all of us, we want to develop all the project and to have all the information, but keeping the protection of the people and also taking into account that we have to worry about the dignity of the people. Please, if you have any question or if you want to comment anything, you can send us a mail and we will try to solve the questions, and we will be there for any problem or any question that could be done. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Belén. This is quite important to still have the ethical advisory board. In addition to this ethical advisory board, we also have an external board for covering all the full advice of the Harmony Plus project. So, is there any question for Work Package 6 for the legal and ethics. As you see, there is no a lot of deliverables coming from this work package. It was a kind of reduction from the previous one because the work has been in some way done, and now has to be continued more than to start the work from now.
May I ask you?
Yeah, Tiziano.
Jesus, what happens when I have a study? Should I go to my ethical committee or not?
Well, was a recurrent question in Harmony. So if you receive the authorization for your local ethical committee, it will be welcome. And this is something that we will very much appreciate. Just to summarize the activities of this relationship between Harmony and the ethical or the local ethical committees, we have obtained some positive reports coming from, if I remember well, from Brno in Czech Republic, from Bologna University, from my hospital, from the hospital in Salamanca, and also there is a approval of the Delphi survey of AML from the Charité Hospital in Berlin. So it will be really appreciated if you can go with the project that you are managing now to your city, to Bergamo, to get this approval. In any case, Harmony has been approved by these other committees, and sometimes we get a kind of reluctances coming from some other local ethical committees because they don't they require us, okay, you are a European project, how can I do an approval of an European project or something? So it is appreciated, it is not totally necessary.
Yes, but my question is, are you aware of ethical committees who reject the proposals in the single cities, in single centers?
Not.
I mean, no?
No, as far as I know, we didn't get a rejection of any kind of local ethical committees. Am I correct?
No. We don't have any rejection. We don't have information about any committee that has rejected the project. We are not sure, of course, if there is an evaluation in any committee that could be rejected and they didn't inform us. But the information that we have is that the proposal has been approved. We don't have any information about any rejection.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions regarding ethical aspects? Okay, if not, maybe we can just move for, this is always a recurrent topic here, the work of the PMOs. I emphasize that they made a great job in the presentation of the project of Harmony Plus. They will require all the kind of really terrible work, really boring work that we have to do. That is all the paperwork. I don't know if someone from the 3 PMOs who will manage the project, Synapse in Barcelona, ULAFE in Valencia, or the team in IPSAL in Salamanca, want to do some kind of remark, advertise, or comment regarding this. So I know that they uploaded yesterday a very nice video that I invite you to download, because it is a quite really great explanation about the interaction between Harmony and Harmony Plus, which are the boundaries between both projects, and which are the homologies, and in some way, some kind of no discrepancies, but the differences. But I think it will be really important if we can receive the information coming from the PMOs. We have to fulfill the deliverables, we have to do the reporting, and it is the only way in which IMI will provide us the budget that they have to give us. I know that they delivered the budget some days ago, few days ago, and that we will deliver to all of you in the next, I hope, days or weeks. In any case, I hope that this will be managed during this month. In any case, maybe Santiago or Cristina, Neus, or Elena perhaps can add some information regarding this work. Santiago.
Just a few remarks. With regards to the pre-financing, we have sent an email yesterday or today to all the partners requesting to confirm their banking information. As soon as we have that information from all the partners, the money will be transferred, because it's already on the account of the coordinator. So this should be very quick. And we are still on time to do that. We have until the end of the month, but we will try to do it in the next few days. Regarding the organization of the project, from the PMO, from the three organizations that are part of the PMO, ULAFE, IPSAL, and Synapse, we try to design the project in such a way in which we took advantages of all the work already done in Harmony. So the governing structures are the same, same data quality supervision committee, same structures with an EC and a steering committee that will be common for both projects, or so we can take advantages of all synergies between the projects. But from an administrative point of view, these are two projects and they need to be, we need to use different procedures for each one of the projects in front of IMI. So there will be two reporting periods, one for Harmony in the next year and one for Harmony Plus during the next 3 years. The amendment procedures are different, are separated. The grant agreement or the consortium agreement should be modified in a different way. And I think those are the biggest difference. I don't know if Elena wants to add anything.
Hi, hello. No, I think you summarized very well the differences. So this is at the operational and scientific level, it will work like a single project, but at the administrative level, we have two separate consortia. So as Santiago said, the administrative procedures in front of IMI will be separated. And this is an overhead for all of us. We know very well, but this is how IMI has organized this. But the project, we need to find the way to work the operational part of the project absolutely closely and coordinated like a single project. So this is important. We have to replicate the governance structure, the structure of work packages and so on, and the leads of the work packages and so on to be able to work like a single project. So I think this is important to have these double dimensions. So at the operational scientific level, we are one project, but at the administrative level, we are two different projects. Thank you.
I suggest you to have a look to the video that we have uploaded to the platform, and I think that Ellen just shared with us, because in this video everything is really well detailed for you to have an idea, and I think you should have a look to the video, please.
It's indeed really very nice video that
Yes.
they have made, so it is really great performance. So and congratulations, this was really very well. This is really very nice work. Okay, so any question for a PMO at PMO? So we can promise you that we will not send so many emails as we have sent during Harmony. So don't be panic about this, because it is quite a lot of things has been already resolved in the previous project. Okay. Is there any comment or questions you want to perform? Okay, if there are no more comments, I want just to finish this TC with some messages. First point is that we will have the General Assembly of Harmony, in which we will see some projects regarding Harmony Plus, as we already were talking before, regarding COVID or regarding this PIBIRA study, in addition to the new results coming from the Harmony project. Maybe all of you already know that the ASH Congress already accepted the two communications, one regarding myeloma, the other regarding AML, for the next meeting, that it will be a virtual meeting on December. It means that Harmony is growing. We are continuously growing the number of patients who are involved or who are included in the database. I really invite you to send your data, to share your data. It is the only way in which we will have, let's say, thousands of cases to be analyzed and to take a really final conclusions, or at least a strong conclusion about the patient that we are currently managing at the clinical level. So it is important to be involved in the virtual General Assembly, 15, 16 October, next Thursday and Friday, next week. We will do, cross finger crossed and so on, that on February we will have the opportunity to meet personally in the NAG for the, let's say, normal Harmony and Harmony Plus assembly that will be organized by the EHA. Hopefully the situation, the pandemic, will change in these next months. Really unpredictable, but we have to manage. And this is something that also Alan and Karin and all the EHA team is now working, trying to have the best General Assembly as possible, personal General Assembly on February. So now we have two running projects with some different deliverables, with a common task, with a common challenge in which we have to participate very actively. I really want to thank to all of you for attendance this meeting. I really want to ask you for more involvement, engagement on the project. The projects now are not one project, are two projects. They are still unusual projects, singular projects on the field of the big data, on the field of the data collection, on the field in which we are going to have the same database with public and private data sheets. So it is really a different project, a different idea. This was important to be a member of Harmony, and let's be proud to be involved in this really different, totally different project than the other projects, either in IMI or in the other fields of health. Thank you so much for coming. I only can say that really I want to add this for all of you who really attend the meeting, who really support Harmony and Harmony Plus. This is a new adventure. This is a new way in which we will be, every one of us, involved. And for any kind of question, doubt, suggestion, ideas, and so on, please don't hesitate to approach me, to approach us. All the coordination team is here to help you and to make Harmony and Harmony Plus a reality. Thank you so much for coming, and welcome to Harmony Plus.